Hello guys, and welcome to this video where I will show you a Hotlap around Baku, then the setup I use, and finally the race strategy. So let's jump right into the Hotlap. Get the DRS on for the main straight, and then coming into turn 1 you wanna brake just before the 100-meter board, going down to 3rd gear and over this curb. Then for turn 2, brake as the parking sign goes out of view, go down to 2nd, maybe 3rd, and then DRS on coming down to turn 3. Here you want to brake again before the 100-meter board and then going down to 2nd gear. Then turn 4 is about feeling, but try and brake before the 50-meter board and slowly shift the gears down to 2nd gear. For turn 5, brake at around 75 meters so you're able to hit the apex going down to 2nd. At turn 7 you want to brake in a straight line around 80 meters, so after the 100-meter board. Cut this curve as much as possible and then into the castle section, brake just before the 50-meter board, getting the car through this section in 2nd and 3rd gear. Hitting these curves just with the wheels and then full throttle down to turn 15. At turn 15 you want to brake just after the 100-meter board. I take it in 2nd, but you can do it in 3rd gear as well. Coming down to turn 16 where you also want to brake after the 100-meter board, going down to 3rd. And then coming through these corners where you want to stay as close to them as possible and then get the DRS on for the straight. And then that was a lap around Baku, and the time we got was a 1:39.9, so a pretty good lap in my opinion. And then let's take a look at the setup that got us this time. So for the aerodynamics we used 8 on the front and 5 on the rear. For transmission it was 65 and 55. Geometry was all the way to the right for camber and all the way to the left on the toe. Suspension was 4-1, then 4-1 for entry roll bar and 2-4 for ride height. Brakes were 150, and then the front tires were 23.3, while the rears were 22.8. So that was the setup, and then let's jump right into the race strategy. So the strategy for this race is to do medium hards, and then the only thing you want to change in the setup is the tire pressure. You want to put it to minimum, but you can actually put the front tires a bit to the right if you want, because it's the rear tires that gets worn the most. And then for the fuel you want to put around 25.8, because as you'll see after this race I had one lap too much, so just put around that. But then let's go straight into the race. So let's skip the formation lap, and then as you can see we were able to get purple yet another time. We got a 0.2, so that was actually pretty good. But let's get on to the race start. And as you can see we started P6, so we had a lot to do, but it was actually very difficult to do on Baku because the AIs are crazy good here. So it was more about defending and trying to keep everyone behind, because it was almost impossible for me to keep it up. But let me show you a lap around Baku with high fuel. So you want to brake just around the same as in the Hotlap before the 100-meter board, going down to 3rd gear, coming down to turn 2, again as the same as the Hotlap. Maybe take it in 3rd to keep the car more stable. You can see I spin a little bit on the rears. But have in mind that it's the same on the hards as it is on the mediums around this track for me. So just use the same as I do when you get on the hards. For this one, exactly also the same as in the Hotlap. Going down to 2nd, don't hit the curb as you'll lose some time. Coming up to this corner it can be pretty difficult to hit the apex every time. You can see I miss it a bit. Also here, don't go over this curb, you lose a lot of time. Coming down to turn 7 you want to do as in the Hotlap, so go over this curb as much as you can without exceeding track limits. Coming into the castle section, take it in 3rd, maybe go down to 2nd if it's easier for you. And then go over this curb a bit, and then just full throttle. Then coming down to turn 15, really be careful not to send it, because if you do that, you'll crash the car. So just keep it safe. And then coming down to turn 16 you want to brake just as in the same as the Hotlap. So maybe keep it in 3rd instead of going down to 2nd as I do. And then around these corners it's quite easy because it's just the same. So it's very easy to do the lap around Baku because it's almost the same as in the Hotlap. Just brake a bit before each corner and then that's it. So our fastest lap was a 1:44.2. And then at the end of lap 11 you want to go into the pits. You can see that we have around 54% tire wear on the rears, while we only have 35% on the fronts. So you can easily put the tire pressure on the fronts a bit up. And then coming into the pits, brake at around 40 meters to get under the 80 kilometers, hit the purple, and then let the crew do the rest. And then remember, coming out of the pits, your tires are very cold, so keep it safe until they're up to temperature. It is especially important around a track like Baku, because if you don't brake early enough, then you're just gonna end up in the wall. I'm not gonna show you a lap around Baku on the hards, because it is almost the same as on the mediums. So just do exactly what you're doing on every lap. And then as you can see on the last lap, we have around 50% on the rears and 30 on the fronts, so it's actually okay. For the fuel you can see that we had 1.1 too much, so just extract that from the beginning. And then that was it from me. Hope you could use this video, and I'll see you in the next one.